I am so glad you convinced me that the family car should be the Defender 110. It is so beautiful inside. It's so comfortable and it just feels indestructible.
Yes, it really is. I've been waiting a long time for the new model to come out. The Defender 110, I'm telling you, it's my favorite car of all times. It's my third one. You know, I have stories of going off road. The guy managed the group. He was like, "What are you doing in this beautiful car?" I'm like, "I'm going off road." He's like, "Are you sure? Because you can use one of ours." And then they look like Mad Max cars. I'm like, no, we're going to do this. And he was shocked.
Wow. Well, it's great because the Defender has been reimagined for 21st century adventure, and its unparalleled off-road ability as well as its robust interior are invaluable whether you're headed towards uncharted territory or just a weekend of exploration. The Defender 110 tackles challenging surroundings with absolute confidence. The SUV conveys strength outside and in, featuring peerless technology like an intuitive driver display and an award-winning infotainment system. That's my favorite part, to keep you connected no matter where the journey takes you. Adventure is unique to everyone, and so is the Defender. Choose from the two-door Defender 90, the four-door Defender 110, or the larger Defender 130 with the ability to seat up to 8 passengers. You'll find uncompromising performance in all three. So pack up and go even further with the Defender 110. Learn more at LandRoverUSA.com/Defender. Capella University is rethinking higher education. With its game-changing FlexPath learning format, you can earn your degree on your schedule and fit your education seamlessly into your life. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu.
Don't let the mysteries of life scare you away. Instead, ask Altucher. Here's James Altucher.
So, Claudia, everybody is always curious. I say, or you say, go on YouTube, start making videos right now, see what opportunities come. And they're like, well, how do you make money doing that? Or how do you make money going on Instagram? So we found a couple, Mimi Ikonn and Alex Ikonn, who make over 7 figures a year doing YouTube videos and Instagram and so on. We have them on the phone.
Hello, Mimi and Alex.
Hello. Hi, guys.
And Mimi's on my mastermind of women as well, which is really nice.
You know, I did not know that.
Yep, she is. And they're a couple doing it together, and that's what I love about them.
First off, so Mimi, I know you have like 700,000 Instagram followers. How many YouTube followers do you have between the two of you?
We'll start with Mimi. There's a few channels, so it's a bit hard to count it all. But I think we never really focused on numbers. But if we're going to talk about numbers, we have a hair channel, which is Lexi Hair. I think it's over 2.3 million subscribers. But we've been doing it for over 5 years consistently.
And that's the biggest channel. That's over 250 million views worldwide. And that's kind of the business that I would say brings in the money, sort of say. And then there's other channels and, of course, new projects. So Mimi has a new channel that she's been working on, and that,
which is Mimi Ikonn. And I do more lifestyle fashion videos, vlogging videos when we travel. It's more personal and intimate.
Yeah, and that's probably...
It's got now, I think, about 2, I don't know, see, that's the thing. Like, I never focus on the numbers, but I know it's over 250K subscribers.
But in general, probably over 2.5 million. My channel is over 50,000, but it's more of I call my channel just my therapy. That's what I do every day, like every week, just to release and help other people. But all in all, like Mimi is saying, it's funny that we're talking about numbers, but in reality, we
never really talk about numbers.
Yeah, we don't talk about numbers.
Well, that's interesting because that may be, I think when people are focused too much on the numbers instead of the value they provide, it decreases from the value.
Absolutely.
So tell us, how did you, before we get into more of the numbers, because we are going to dive more into the numbers, tell us how you got started doing YouTube videos. I mean, a quarter, or 2.5 million viewers and 250 million views on a video channel about hair. Obviously, I have never used your advice, but tell us how you got started.
It actually started very organically, and I was looking for hair extensions for our big day, which was also 5 years ago.
So the wedding.
Yeah, we were getting married, and I thought, okay, finally, I'm gonna go splurge and get myself some hair extensions to look glamorous.
Good.
And we were broke back then, so there was no money. So I don't know what he was gonna splurge on, but whatever. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't spend that much. So I bought a set of hair extensions. I came home, I clipped it in, and I was just in the room with Alex and my sister Layla. And I clipped in the hair extensions, and it looked horrific. It looked really bad, unnatural. And I just looked at them and I said, guys, like, this really sucks. I wasted all this money. I can't return this product. And my sister was just saying, yeah, this does suck. Alex just looked at us and said, what's hair extensions? I've never heard about this product. Tell me more. At the time, he was also reading for our work week. Actually, both of us were reading for our work week. So he was in the mindset of, looking for the muse.
I think like so many people, you read the 4-hour work week, you see the cover, the guy's on the beach, and you're like, work 4 hours a week. That sounds awesome. Yeah. And it's the whole, I guess, era of lifestyle business when it was just starting. This is in 2010. And we're just very excited. I guess that book really opened up our mind to, hey, this is actually possible. There's this new technologies that exist that allow people like us who are just, early 20s back then, just with dreams and wanting to live a life and travel the world and discover places. So I was just there kind of just thinking, unemployed, and just thinking, okay, how can I live this lifestyle? And Mimi, and I think like so many people, you want to have a business, you want to have the lifestyle, but so many people have the missing link of what's the actual business and what's the actual idea? How am I actually going to realize this? Because it's not just about the secret and just making things happen, but it's actually about action and making things a reality. So that's when the spark really came. I'm like, wow, this seems interesting. And then Mimi kind of, I said, so tell me more about hair extensions. And then she showed me.
Yeah, I just opened the laptop and started showing him all these videos. What's that?
This is on your wedding day?
No, this was right before the wedding. This was like a month before the wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started showing Alex all these YouTube videos, and at the time in the UK, hair extensions were actually quite big, but not in US and Canada, which became our main market. And I showed him some videos on YouTube of before and afters of girls wearing hair extensions, and it's always so dramatic because somebody going from short and more fine hair to long, voluminous, thick hair is just very emotional and dramatic and exciting.
So the girls get like really excited and they scream and they twirl around you, and you get all this emotion. And I'm like,
because it does feel different when you have that much hair.
Yeah. So for me, as a guy who knew nothing about hair extensions, I just thought, wow, you just feel like you're actually changing their emotions and their life, really. So it was just really exciting. I think any product that gets emotions out of people and gets them to feel better is just people want it. So and even though it was like,
Alex, I want to interrupt for a second. I think that's a really important takeaway. Anything that you see is going to really inspire the emotions of people to change, that there is some product out there to search around, to figure out. And that's what you guys did.
Exactly. But it really did start with like a frustration, like a problem.
Yeah, my own problem.
Yeah, and that was, I guess, why we worked as a team as well, is that, for some people, we get frustrated on a daily basis, a lot of us, right? But it's for, and so many people are like, okay, I want a business idea. And what we always tell people, and this is what happened with us, and even all the other business products that we created after, including the 5-Minute Journal, which is one of them, they all came from
our own struggles,
our own problems. Because if you can solve a problem for yourself or others, that's a business. And one of my good friends said, how do you make $1 billion? Well, you create $1 billion worth of value for other people. Right. And that's how you do it. So that's how we just think of business, really.
Yeah, so at that time when Alex saw all those videos, he said, well, we should definitely do this business. And we looked at him like he's crazy.
No, because we didn't have any money. Like I said, we're really I just graduated from university, which was a whole complete waste of money and time. And I totally agree with you, James, on choose yourself era and how, if I invested differently my time and money, but it was a complete waste to go to university, in my opinion. And then
I'm a college dropout.
Mimi's a college dropout. She's smarter than me. But but I guess what really happened.
Girls are always smarter than guys, so don't worry about that.
Exactly. But what happened was we said, okay, we we'll have some money. So we have like some line of credits, and I know my mom has a line of credit, and I know, and we just got a check from, those checks you get from your Visa that say like, okay, you can take out this money, and if you have no interest for 6 months, and after 6 months you have like this crazy interest rate.
Yeah.
Well, it said, okay, 0% interest for 6 months. I'm like, okay, we have 6 months to make money, and we have
A
this
very
idea.
natural way to think.
Yeah.
Let's just take money from mom and Visa, max it out.
Exactly, and go for it. And we just thought, also, but how can we make this money go further? And back then, I was a failed social media consultant. I can say I was just starting out. This is 2009, 2010. So nobody would buy my services for social media consulting. Meaning, back then, I was saying, social media consultants are like snake oil salesmen. Nobody trusted them. Well, I was one of those guys, kind of, I guess to say. But the reality was, it was so new. Not many businesses really created these strategies yet. And that's what I want to do for other businesses. But they like, get out of here. Facebook or YouTube are never going to be,
those things don't work.
they don't work. And show me a return on investment. And to be honest, I couldn't, because I didn't have enough experience yet. So I said, well, we're going to do it ourselves. We're going to put all the stuff that I learned from, Gary Vaynerchuk back then, who was a huge inspiration as well with his book Crush It, and how he did Wine Library. Or let's say Seth Godin, his idea of being a linchpin and all that stuff. So we kind of put all those ideas and inspirations, and we put it into a channel which was Luxy Hair. And that's where Mimi and her sister Layla created hair tutorials every week to help other people to create hairstyles. And when we started a YouTube channel, we didn't yet have a business or a product. I just told Mimi and Layla, start making videos, build an audience, and I'll be working on the product and creating the product and the business.
So Alex, and Mimi, you already saw that there were many YouTube videos or YouTube channels doing this. Why did you think you could compete?
Well, we didn't. We thought we'll just, we'll get 1,000 subscribers maybe, and we'll have our little community. And that's really what we aimed for. We didn't aim for millions of views or millions of subscribers. We just said, you know what, we got to give it a shot, because all of us at the time, me, my sister, and Alex, were unemployed. we all had our own little businesses, but we weren't really that successful, to be honest. And the three of us knew that we wanted to have our own thing. We wanted to be, in control, have our own business or some kind of projects that we're working on, that we're passionate about. So this opportunity came through, and we just thought, let's go for it, because we were desperate, and we were also into the product, because I genuinely wanted to have these kind of hair extensions. And we didn't talk to anyone, meaning our friends or family. We just said, we're going to go for it. And we don't really care what other people think, because we really need to start, really need to start working at something that works for us.
Yeah.
Because it was either start your own business and succeed at it, or go back to 9-to-5 jobs. And that was like a death sentence.
Yeah, we used to work like a retail bank. That's how Mimi and I met. And we knew we can always go back to that, some sort of a job like that, like a safe 9-to-5 job. But for us at that moment, like I said, we were so, it was so against it. Like our values, our vision of who we are as people. We saw ourselves, especially after reading the 4-Hour Workweek, of traveling the world and discovering places and living the life to our terms and
also doing things that are meaningful to us.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
So you started the YouTube channel. How quickly did you how many videos did it take before you realized, hey, there's a real audience here, a real community here that's starting to develop around this?
We were very fortunate, because I think that it grew pretty fast compared to many other channels that are out there. I remember that within a few months we already hit, I would say, 25,000 subscribers.
That's quite a bit.
But I'll say, no, but I'll slow it down. I think at the beginning, it wasn't really that fast. So we started, I think, the channel in April.
In April, yeah.
By July, when we launched the actual business, and I actually finally sourced the product, and we got everything ready, and we sent a $20,000 wire to China by never talking to the person, or we just chatted over like Skype or MSN Messenger back then, and just sent this money to somewhere we didn't know. And at that point, we probably had it wasn't 1,000 subscribers even. It was maybe 250.
Well, yeah, because it grew exponentially. You know, it was like, first it was like 100 subscribers. Well, first it was 0, right? We have to remember.
Everyone starts with 0.
Everyone starts with 0. We had 0 subscribers when I first did my first video that was filmed on a laptop. My first maybe 5
It's still
seconds.
up. You can still
What
see
did you
it.
do the video about?
What's that?
What did you do the first video about?
It was a review of a product, which was a hair straightener that was extremely popular at the time. It was very expensive, but very good quality product. And
would you say that you were kind of newsjacking at the time, in the sense that you knew it was a popular product?
A little bit. I wasn't doing it consciously, to be honest, James. But now looking back, I think I just, you know, naturally, I just kind of feel with my gut the things that are in. And also I'm into it as well. So before I bought the straightener, I did a lot of, a lot of research and looked at a lot of videos. So I wanted to share my, 5 cents about what I think about this product. And the video did grow and get a lot of views. But then, we consistently started making other content, like, showing women how to do braids and waves and all kinds of hairstyles. And yeah, at first we were just filming it on a laptop.
Was there ever a tipping point video where suddenly you had this kind of like humongous leap? So you probably had a trend line. Okay, we're gradually going up, gradually going up. Was there any one video where bam, kind of like Michelle Phan when she did the Lady Gaga makeup video, it was bam for her?
There was a few. There wasn't one. There was a few, like there was this Alexander Wang, which is a fashion designer. He did this beautiful side braid on his runway. So that one got a few million in the first year.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. Then I did a 6-strand braid, which I never in a million years thought would be big. It got like over 11 million views.
Wait, what's a 6-strand braid?
6-strand braid, yeah.
6-strand braid?
It's like really complicated braid made out of 6 strands of hair.
Should Claudia do that? Like, would Claudia look good with that?
Of course she would. Claudia has beautiful hair.
I'm gonna check it out.
Claudia has great hair.
I'll have to do it now.
You two look alike a little bit, actually.
I think so too.
But even then, I'll be honest, like Mimi's, I think we talked about this too. Mm-hmm. But in reality, I'll say there was never a viral moment. We really grew.
It was many little moments.
It was many little moments, and they grew over time. Like I said, I think it's just the reason we want to point that out, because so many people, when we look at the examples, let's say of Michelle Phan or even us, people suddenly think, oh yeah, you guys just, overnight you grew it. But it really took time and dedication.
We were not an overnight.
And most importantly, consistency of creating content, putting out value to other people time and time and time. And most importantly, even though we have a business, we never focused on selling the product. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I think is very important that we realized from the beginnings, because we didn't want to sell, like, when we come from a banking world where it's a direct selling world, where my manager would come to me and be like, Alex, here is a list and go sell to these people. This credit card offer is going to ruin people's lives. Sell them. Whatever, potentially. Or they can start businesses and end up like us.
So let me ask you, did you actually cover that credit card and return the money to mom?
Yes, we covered it within 6 months. We paid off that balance, because what actually ended up happening was it's good to be naive sometimes and stupid, because what happened with us, we actually we want to do this whole 4-hour working thing. So we said, in September we're going to go to south of France and we're going to have our first mini vacation. This is before
workation.
Workation, mini, whatever you want to call it.
Workation. I love it.
And so we booked the trip to Nice
before we made any
money. And you know what? That month we made a lot of money. So, and this is our second or third month in business. So
how many videos had you done at this point?
It was a video week.
I'd say maybe. Probably around 20 plus. Yeah, okay. Not more than that.
But of course, there's more than videos. I'll say at that time, there was also a lot of, hustle. Because I'll say those, people also who say read those books and think, oh, okay, I'll just do this and create it. There was we would probably work 80 to 100 hour work weeks up until, let's say, September when we went on that little vacation.
What were you doing?
No, we're doing we would go on forums and we would
help people with questions about hair, and everything that was related to hair, we were there helping people and also spreading the message about our new product.
Yeah, spamming our friends, Facebook, and we're also. I think the thing that helped the most back then was say equivalent of, let's say, I think going to Yahoo Answers, looking for people who are asking hair-related questions, and then we would answer them. So all of us, and just help them out.
So it's kind of like a hub and spoke model, like the center of your wheel were the YouTube videos, but then you had spokes and all these other outlets where you would direct people back to the center, which was your YouTube videos.
Definitely. And interacting with the first, of course, people who subscribe, who comment, and interact with them, really nurture that community, because those first people are your, first, 100 fans or whatever, or first fan. You have to really dedicate and be.
And to this day, I spend a lot of time going through comments and, talking to people and developing relationships with my audience, because, we're able to do what we are today because of our audience and their support.
Now, when did your business hit the 7-figure mark?
Or wait. Before then, you mentioned after a few months you sent that first $20,000 wire to China. What was that all about? What were you selling? What were you buying? How did that start?
What do you mean? Like, how do we find a supplier, or how did that happen?
No, what happened where money started to enter the picture?
Or actually we started making money, or?
Well, you mentioned at some point you sent a wire to China.
For $20,000.
For $20,000.
That was to buy the hair.
Yeah, that was to buy the product. So, because the only money we spent in our business was really I made the website myself with a WordPress theme, I think, and a PayPal button. It was really basic.
We took all the pictures.
We took all the pictures ourselves. I think we didn't have so much money, so it was. I remember this time we bought the photo equipment. Let's say the studio set, a little thing, lights and whatever from a Henry's store in Canada, like a B&H photo kind of thing. And then we bought it. We did the shoot, and we had to return it the next day because we honestly didn't have well, you gotta save money. And in fact, we didn't even get married. We got married that year in Dominican, which we did, but we never got our marriage certificate because it was like $300 to $500. And we said, okay, screw getting a marriage certificate. We need this money.
We don't care about the paper.
We don't care about this paper. We need money more for our business. Right. So we invested all the money into the product and kind of just buying the inventory itself. Mm-hmm. And then most other things we did it ourselves. So like I said, I did the website. Mimi did the videos. Yeah. We did the customer service. It wasn't at the beginning. It wasn't a 4-hour work week at all. It was an 80 to 100-hour work week.
That's very typical, actually. Like even the 4-hour work week, he started off working 80 hours a week, and then you kind of figure out how to delegate it down and so on. But how did you when you started? You mentioned you wired $20,000 to China for products. I don't understand. What were you selling? When did you start selling? How did you formulate a business model? Like, what happened next?
Yeah, well, okay, actually, this is a very interesting question, and it's important. Because what happened, the reason business ideas struck, we got, I guess, popular in business as well, because we don't have too much business experience either. Our business experience is, we used to work at a bank. I would have some entrepreneurial ventures as a kid, but nothing really. I used to sell flowers on the street and things like that.
You used to sell cars too.
I used to sell cars and to Russia and all sorts of things. But I think what it really came down to, when Mimi told me about the product, and she told me, I bought this product in a mall, it cost me this much, and it's crap. The ones that I want that are really good, they cost between $300 to $500, sometimes even more, for this clip-in hair extension, which is like they clip into your hair. It's like this additional hair you have. James, I don't get it either, but it works. I said, okay. And then, so I'm like, okay, this product costs $300 to $500 in a store. Then at that time, I was also doing a little gig for one of my friends where I learned a bit about like Alibaba and China and stuff like that. And I said, okay, let me look on Alibaba how much this product actually costs. And I started looking, I'm like, wait, like they're having a huge margin on this product. What if we actually undercut these kind of middlemen, these stores, and just sell it at pretty much wholesale prices to the consumer directly from online? Okay, so kind of like what you see Everlane doing now.
Alex, I'm sorry. I'm a really bad interrupter. I really apologize, but I just want to understand every step of the way. So you saw a popular product that was being sold for X, But when you looked at Alibaba and you added in shipping, you saw that you can actually sell the same product for significantly cheaper. Like how much cheaper?
Oh, well, what we're thinking, I'm like, the margin was, let's say, the product at that time, because it increased, the supply and demand, so the product cost increased a lot. So at that time, let's say it cost $300 to $500 wholesale. The salon will probably purchase it for about $120, $100.
Wow.
They're purchasing from China for around $50 to $65 back then, let's say. So I'm like, we don't need so much margin. What if we just do, let's say, 50% margin, meaning we would buy the product for 50, sell it for 100, just to simplify things, right? And that's what we did. And then, so I said, that's enough margin for us, because our goal at the beginning was just to make $1,500 a month.
Okay.
Like if I make
let me ask the question again. I'm sorry. I'm just step by step. So then on the YouTube video, would you say, Mimi, like, oh, at the mall, I bought this for $500, but you could just buy it. Why pay that? You could just buy it straight from me for $100 and save $400.
No, I never did something so direct.
Okay, so how did selling happen?
Yeah, the way we market our product.
To this day.
Yeah, it's very natural and organic. I actually can't sell anything unless I actually love it. So I would make hair tutorials, and I still do, using the hair products. And the only time I will mention the product is just in the beginning of the hair tutorial, where I will say, I'm wearing Luxy hair extensions. I don't talk about the product being my own business. I don't tell people to buy it. I don't say anything else. I just say, I'm wearing Luxy hair extensions in, dirty blonde, chocolate brown, whatever color I may be at the time. And then I go into a hair tutorial to show women how to do a certain hairstyle. And if they choose to buy the product because they want to have that kind of hair, that's completely their choice. So
they buy from YouTube, from a link within YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so the link will be under the video in the information box. But again, that's not something I tell them. I don't tell them, go in the info box, I'm going to link it there. It's very organic, it's very natural, and it's very intentional because I can't do it any otherwise. Like, I can't sell. It's got to be very organic, otherwise I don't feel right about it. And it's worked for us, as you can see.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that approach. I think if you did a hard sell, it's too like infomercial 90s style.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we have a whole thing like QVC and the way they sell, like QVC is the biggest shopping network, and they have the whole thing like, make 2 easy payments and buy it in the next 15 minutes and do this, and like it just makes me want to puke. So we wanted to do everything opposite of all the information marketing or product selling.
Yeah, we believe that if you provide enough value and you make the product available to people,
and the product is good,
and the product is actually great, then people will know how to buy it and how to find it.
What a great equation. So value plus availability equals a business.
Yes.
Yeah. So in terms of the numbers, again, in the first year, we wanted to make humbly 3,000 between the two of us.
Because we thought that would be together. Because before that, we lived off employment insurance. So in Canada, when you're unemployed, they give you I think $1,200 a month to survive on. And we were like, you know what, we got by on that. Like, we lived at home with parents, and we're like, we can pull this off.
So when, at what point in the cycle, you started doing, you did your first video in April of, I guess, 2010. And at what point did the first order start coming in at luxyhair.com?
The first order came in before we actually launched the website. It was a friend of mine from a previous work who heard about us starting the business, and she used to wear hair extensions like daily. And she said, I'm going to come and get it. Just tell me, the price. I'm going to come pick it up. So maybe it was the day before we actually launched. She came in, looked at the product,
and we
approved it, which was very important to me because she's had way more experience than I did at the time. And she bought it, and that was the first sale.
But the crazy thing is, James and Claudia, we just got the shipment in to, let's say, our house that day. We didn't even see the product. We didn't even open the box. When she came in, we opened the box, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if there's going to be just plastic in there and I just wasted $20,000, or if there's going to be actual product. And it happened to be, it was they did deliver. It was the first manufacturer we contacted out of hundreds, but it was the first one. It was a great supply. It was a great product. And it was like, because we met at Mastermind Talk, we were talking at Mastermind Talks. That drug dealer that was there, it's very similar. Like supply and demand, good product. It's all basic. So the business is very similar in that.
So you had women who were paying $500 in the mall across the street, and you found your manufacturer, I guess, through Alibaba or whatever, and you were buying for $50. Your friend came over and bought the first product for like $100.
Yeah,
it was like 140. She bought a thicker set. So.
Yeah, we have two sets. We have like a
now we have a few more options.
Yeah, but at the beginning we had two sets. So we had a kind of smaller set and a bigger set. So it's like
Okay, and so
less hair and more hair.
So then, meanwhile, in parallel, you're building up your social media channels, YouTube and Instagram, where you can show off the product without selling it.
Exactly. Since we didn't have any money to put into marketing, we said we're going to do everything. So all the videos, all the marketing for the first 3 years, if not more, was organic. It was just YouTube videos, Facebook.
Yeah, we never bought any views or advertisements or Facebook, anything. Pure organic. So it was just really putting in kind of the work, and over time we have a little formula to kind of how it all started, what it took us to succeed, but we can get into that. But
what's the formula? We want to know.
Yeah. So because what happened was like you said, we built a 7-figure business with YouTube.
Within the first year.
Within the first year. So we did 7 figures right before the first year we did. And it was shocking to us as well.
And it was actually profit, right?
Yeah. Well, no, the first one was revenue. The years after it became actual 7-figure profits. The second year on. And then, so what the formula, and this is why we want to talk about it. And the only reason we say the numbers even now, say to share with you, because we're really actually private about it, is because we want people to understand that this is the real deal. And what we mean is, it's not about all the stuff that you learn in, a lot of times in business school, or people tell you, or traditional ways of selling even. Because to us as people, it never, I don't know, we came from selling background in banks, and like we said before, it made us puke anytime anybody wanted to sell us something, or we had to sell something to people. So we wanted to be genuine about selling. So the formula that we call it, because what happened 2 years after the business, 2 or 3 years down the business, I'm like, wow, okay, we have something special going on. But what makes us, like you asked at the beginning, what made us different from, say, all other people who are on YouTube and they're trying to start a channel, and they're trying to grow, and they're trying to make money, and they're trying to become popular, and whatever. So what made us different? How come we succeeded while other people didn't? Or also, what are other people on YouTube, as you've mentioned, let's say Michelle Phan or other people, what are they doing that allow them to be successful? So I really looked at them, everybody, including ourselves, and I broke it down to 4 letters. So I call it QVCA, because QVC is like the big shopping network, right?
Yep.
And I said, okay, so QVCA is the new way of selling. It's not the old QVC way of selling. So
the
what
Icon
QVC?
way.
Huh?
The Icon way.
Well, you can call it whatever way, but it's really, I think this is the way people want to buy today. Mm-hmm. They don't want to buy. Yeah, people still buy from QVC. They're still laggards. People who it's $1 billion company. I'm not going to knock them. They're making money, but I think more towards the future, more and more businesses will have to adjust and sell in a more genuine way. So I'll quickly break it down. I'll go quickly through it. And James and Claudia, you can ask us questions as we go.
Yeah, you can interrupt at any point.
So what we first noticed is that, okay, QVCA, Q. So Q stands for quality. And what we noticed is with videos, we're one of the first channels that actually started making videos with DSLR cameras. Meaning back then we first started with just kind of like a laptop notebook. But then we quickly realized that
everyone else was doing that, and we need to differentiate ourselves.
Yeah, so I said, okay, why don't we get this new DSLR camera? So it's just coming out, and it's to increase our quality, to have a better quality. So we were one of the first channels to kind of have a better looking video quality. Now everybody has it. So, but with quality, the reason I mention it, quality of the overall videos are important, meaning, the sound matters, the quality of the video matters. So the overall image of the video matters, meaning even from the background. So how does your room look like? Mm-hmm. What's the bed in the background, or what's the thing?
I noticed that in the videos. Actually, it seems like there's thought put into the room in the background, like what's on the bed, how it's made, what the color is, and so on.
Yeah, but that's actually our room. That's how it is. We're pretty neat. But I guess
But it's important because all of that is the image that you're portraying to the world, and that's why it's important.
And that's why the overall quality is important. Of course, the quality of the information you provide. But what I want to mention now, what we've learned also throughout the years, a lot of people, though, they stop themselves and they think, oh, you know what? Yeah, but in order to produce great quality, you need to spend a lot of money. Meaning you need to have these crazy expensive cameras and these lenses, and a lot of people get lost in the technicalities of quality and creating video. What we're learning now, especially even to this day more and more, is that actually quality, it's important not to have quality that is too high. You don't want things to be overproduced. You don't want things that are like white background, super professional, everything scripted, 3 camera angles. All that is too much.
That's television. That's not YouTube.
That's too much, and that's not YouTube, and people don't connect with it. So we realized also you want your quality to be good, but you also don't want it to be too good. You want it to still be realistic, and so that you're able to connect with people through the screen. Because YouTube is what makes it so great is that it's the perfect medium where you're able to really transfer, once again, emotion, and where people can really connect with you as a person. But if it's in real life, you never have things looking perfect, and you never have things going from one angle to another. And but it sounds pretty good in real life in most of the instances. And what we also realize even now with quality, we're actually going to an age where quality actually matters less and less. More and more people, the reason they're switching to YouTube is that they want more realness. They want more authenticity. And the more of that you can provide to people, so even sometimes there's a lot of successful people now, even filming, let's say, with just iPhones or just small handy cameras. But that's just on quality. But the point that I really want to make is you don't want things and videos to be overproduced and overscripted and all that stuff. And I'll touch on other points. The second point is, so Q is the first one. Second one is value. And this is really important. Something that I think we really touched upon is we never focus on selling. It might sound like crazy. Yeah, you guys still want to make money. We do. I'm not saying we don't want to make money, but we understand that the whole intention of our videos and the content that we provide, our videos are not there to make money. Our videos are there to provide value to people. And like I said, if you provide value to people, then it will translate into money. That's just how we see it. The more value you provide to people, the more money you make. That's just in our world, from our viewpoint. So we always focus, how can we make these videos better for people? What can we teach them? How can we educate them? Or any of those. So value, and we always think how we can provide more value to people. Now, so as Q,
in every video, sorry to interrupt you. In every video, did you attempt to teach at least one new thing?
Of course, yeah. Every video is a new hairstyle, hair technique. I also I look at the energy I bring as well as value. I'm always bringing the best of myself. So I'm smiling. I'm trying to give off good vibes, and it takes energy to give that kind of presence on camera. I'm sure you film videos as well, so you know what it takes. Sometimes it doesn't always work with the first try. So it's a lot of energy that you're giving off, but that's also part of the value.
Yeah, but like when you said values, you can be entertaining to people. So comedy does really well, or say gaming on YouTube is huge, where people they show how they play the game well. Or let's say it's somebody showing how to clean their room, and they're really good at it, but they're showing value.
Yeah, you can provide value in many different ways, whether it's insights, knowledge, tutorials on how to do something, or
just pass the time, be entertaining for them
or entertainment.
So that's quality, value. So QV. C is consistency.
Yeah, the last 2 points are even more important than the first 2 points.
Yeah, because you can have the quality, you can be getting great value, but if you're not doing the last 2 points, you're really going to fail. So the last 2 points, or the third one, is C for consistency. What we did really well, what many YouTubers or podcasters or bloggers, what they all do well, they're very consistent. Meaning they put out their videos every week, sometimes twice a week. You don't want to overdo it by posting too many, but you want to be consistent in your content.
Not more than twice a week.
Yeah, not more than twice a week. And then let's say
good advice, actually.
Yeah,
and then
because some people just do overkill and they post every day, but that's too much. Like, people can't keep up with that, and posting once a month is not. It's not enough. So we found that once a week or twice a week is the ideal formula.
And the thing is, we have to understand is that, we have to use the resources and leverage that other media conglomerates have provided for us. So, media has spent trillions of dollars probably training people to look out for their shows for consistency, meaning we all knew when the Simpsons were on when we're growing up because, it's Sunday, whatever time, and Simpsons are going to be on. So you want to create the same kind of consistency for your viewers. So, for example, if you create videos every Monday and you let them know at the end of it, let's say your video or your podcast, hey, catch you guys next Monday, another show coming to you. In their brain, you're creating that connection and link that, hey, because people want certainty. They really like that. They know that next week Mimi's going to be there to smile for them and show them something new. People love that certainty, and that's why they'll be more willing to subscribe to the channel. What channel will you be more likely to subscribe? The one where, let's say, it's a great quality video, it gives you great value. You check it out, but you see that the last time she posted a video was 6 months ago, you're not going to be so willing to subscribe. But if you see that Mimi posts videos every week,
consistency builds trust with your audience.
Exactly.
I think that's why it's so important.
And another thing with consistency, which really worked for us for our business for Luxury Hair, was in other products, is that it's also consistency of content. Meaning, Luxury Hair was about hair, and our business was about hair. We didn't do cat videos or makeup videos. We stayed really consistent, and we were one of the first channels on YouTube that just focused on hair, let's say in the beauty space. Because in the beauty space, they were doing all sorts of things, hauls, follow me around videos, all these sorts of videos. But we decided from the beginning, this channel is just about hair, and that's what it's about. So people come here, and they know there's going to be a hair tutorial. Now Mimi has a lifestyle channel, so if they want to follow her for more lifestyle and fashion and those, she has a different channel for that.
Yeah.
But for hair, this is the channel to go to. So consistency is very important.
Consistency in the content.
Consistency of content, consistency of the videos we put out, the podcasts we put out. So your listeners and viewers, they'll know that, hey, James is going to create another podcast episode. I'm subscribing because I can't wait for another show. So that's QVC, right? Quality, value, consistency. The last point, which is, I think, the most important, actually, and this is why I believe, Mimi did well, or James, you really do well with across all your platforms, is authenticity. Because at the end of the day, as people, we're sick and tired of fake people on television, like talking heads, talking nonsense to us and not being real. They don't care about us, right? As people, the reason people are flocking to YouTube or all these other alternatives of media and consuming it, we want to connect with real human beings just like ourselves. We want to hear real stories from real people who are genuine and authentic. People that win are genuine and authentic. And this is a very important point that I've seen across many platforms. I'm not saying that, yes, there are people who are not genuine and authentic that win, but mostly the people that really grow are the ones who are authentic and genuine. So a great point to that, just we'll realize at some point we're trying to be perfect. We're actually trying to make our videos more professional, and Mimi was trying to make less mistakes, and we would edit all the bloopers out. And people said it's losing that touch. So we realized it's not about being perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to leave in the bloopers. It's okay to say something.
It's not only okay, you have to.
It's funny you say that, because I realized that in my podcast. I think my podcast got a lot better. In our podcast, Claudia's and my podcast got a lot better when we were just having regular conversations as opposed to, I think it just evolved to be more authentic as we learned how to communicate on this medium.
And also to relax. Because it takes a while to find your voice while you're being watched.
Right.
That's very true. And it can be very intimidating. To this day, it is, I think, for me. Anytime I film, it takes a bit of courage, or sometimes a lot of courage, to bring that authenticity and allow for others to see the real you.
Yeah, but you're wonderful, Mimi.
Thank you, Claudia.
So this QVCA, and then that would attract more and more people to the videos, and then always underneath there's a link, buy Luxy, or just a link to the site.
To the site, there's no buy.
There's a link to the website.
Yeah, and sometimes it would be even hidden after the fold. So meaning it will be description of the video, and it'll be underneath. It'll be like, here's the thing. So it's like everything that people tell you not to do, we do it.
Yeah, and it works.
And it works because a lot of people don't, like, to this day, they're like, what do you do? Like, for, like, what's your career? They still don't get it. So, it works.
So it works because they're watching the videos and they say, boy, I'd really like to have my hair look like that. And,
exactly.
Here's a link to it. I just happened to see. And they click on it, and some percentage of reviewers would buy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They hear the name and then they just Google it. I mean, Luxy Hair is a very simple name. And, as long as I mention it in the video, and I provide people with the information and then the content, if they're interested in buying the product, they will find a way to get it.
But I think the greatest example of this that I can tell you, and a friend of mine shared this with me, I think last year, and this is exactly what we do. I think many successful businesses do. So, James and Claudia, have you guys ever played Mario, the game?
One time, maybe.
Yeah, like older versions, like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you remember, like, Mario, that guy, Super Nintendo or Nintendo, you play, he goes into tubes and he grows bigger. So there's Mario and then there's Super Mario, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you guys remember at all how Mario becomes Super Mario?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so some people might know. So Mario becomes Super Mario if he's like a mushroom or a star in the game, and he gets bigger and he has all these superpowers and he starts throwing fireballs at people, and you're so much faster, and like that's what he becomes by, let's say, eating the star or this mushroom. But this is exactly how most businesses are. A lot of businesses, they think they have to focus on selling a product and selling the features of their product and how good it is and what it will do and whatever. But the reality is nobody cares about the product. Everybody wants to become Super Mario. So what we do really, we show people, and that's why we say the background is important, the lifestyle you create is important, the imagery is important, the quality of your videos are also important, the bed you have in the background is important, how you present yourself is important. Because all that, you're selling, all those little touch points, you're selling the overall lifestyle. Right. And when they see Mimi, they're like, hey, I want to be like Mimi. This girl seems really cool. She seems like a person that I want to be like. And then they see because as people, we start breaking things down. We say, what does she have? They'll say that I don't have. And then one of those things might be hair extensions. One of those things might be something else. But we always try to break it down because as humans, we always want to evolve and try to get better. So that's one of the things. So as businesses, when we create that vision or that, let's say, that brand of ourselves that people want to become, your products will sell automatically because that's why we're actually very careful with Mimi who she features or who she sponsors, because we know that those things will sell.
I never sponsor him.
Actually he doesn't sponsor. Yeah, because exactly, that's one of the things. We actually don't do any sponsored videos. Yeah. So if people want to approach Mimi, unless she genuinely likes the product, she's not gonna.
Which so far they haven't been many brands that. I or any brands. Like I've featured brands, but they haven't paid me anything for it. It's all genuine.
Because a lot of people.
That's great because I think if you just focused on your own brands, then then you have that inauthenticity again.
Exactly.
You need that because obviously you wear other clothes and other brands, so it's nice to you. And I notice you always point out like what the other brands are you're wearing, so people just assume Luxy Hair is in the mix.
Exactly.
So it seems like along with QVCA, there's this one other aspect, which is
the benefit, the lifestyle.
Well, no, that I guess that's part of the A, but there's the fact that you then spread the brand onto all these other media, like Yahoo Answers or wherever else you direct people back to YouTube.
That was at the beginning.
Yeah, we haven't done Yahoo Answers in years, but yes, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Pinterest, and YouTube. But YouTube is definitely our main focus, and then Instagram.
Okay, so YouTube and Instagram are your main focus.
Because we have a very visual product, so for us, that's what works the best.
Do you think Pinterest will succeed?
I definitely think it already is succeeding in terms of for anything that's visual and creative. Personally, when I'm looking for pictures of outfits or, sometimes if I'm looking for recipes, instead of Googling, I go on Pinterest and I Pinterest the recipe because they have way better imagery. So a lot of times now Pinterest is being used instead of Google. So in terms of that, I think it's a great tool that can be utilized for any business. Yes.
Pinterest is it is the current image search. So meaning that's what Google is losing, and we definitely believe in the strength of Pinterest. We actually underutilize it. We don't use its power as much as we do, and it's something that we talk about. So it's a great tool, and there's many businesses that are made just off Pinterest.
What about other video channels like Vine or Periscope or things like that?
Personally, I just started using Snapchat, and I think Snapchat is quite powerful, and it's what all the 13, 14-year-olds use nowadays. I think it's quite fun, and it can be also used in terms of just creating a better brand for yourself. Periscope, I did hear about it. I haven't used it.
I think with all of these tools, and it's something that we've touched upon also when I talked about quality and authenticity, tools like, let's say, Periscope and not Vine as much, but especially Periscope, which is a kind of a live streaming tool like Meerkat or Periscope. I've actually talked to Mimi about it too. Is that anything, or like Snapchat, any tool that you can use where you can show more of your realness, your authenticity, and take people on your everyday journey is a win.
Because you are providing value again.
Yeah, because you're providing value again, and people are able to connect with you on a different level. Because we live, yes, we do, and we partly do that. So Mimi will say, and us, we have, our videos are still pretty well produced. Mimi puts a lot of thought in her Instagram pictures, but people still love to see that. For example, Mimi started vlogging recently, where it's just kind of
it's a lot more real and raw, and I just use a small, camera to film with. It's not like a big DSLR camera, and it's a big step because you're downgrading the quality still a little bit, but I find that people can connect with that a lot more. So again,
I like those videos because for me, I'm not your female audience. I'm a male audience, and it gives men a chance to kind of get used to your brand, and maybe I'll show them to my daughters and so on. So it's a good extension of the brand. But okay, so now you're in year 3 of essentially making over $1 million a year in profits. How's your lifestyle changed?
Oh, this is actually this is a great question.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah. So remember our whole thing of like wanting to live the 4-hour work week, and we think that's going to be like the greatest thing ever for us. And it's like, yeah, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? The 4-hour work week. And like, we know Tim, and he's a great guy, and the 4-hour work week is a great book. But what we realized was, and I think like so many people realize, we come from a background where we didn't have a lot of money. We don't come from wealthy families. So
for us, money was always something we wanted to attain, because as through media, it is portrayed to be the thing that, once you have it, you have the cars, all the material goods, you can travel and do whatever you want, then you will be happy.
Right.
And what we quickly learned, and Mimi actually, as soon as we're in France in September, after 3 months, it hit Mimi right away.
Yeah, like I got extremely depressed and anxious, and I just kind of lost all colors. I just didn't know why I should even keep going, it was really bad.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't understanding. I'm like, Mimi, what's going on? We're young. We're in south of France. We're living the life. We're on the beach. We have time, and we're getting money. It's amazing. So for me, it took me personally about 2 years to hit rock bottom, where I bought my dream car and we had 7 figures in the bank, which I've dreamed of. And once I hit that, and it was my birthday, I was like, what's the point of it all? Is this it? Is my point just to consume and make money and to live my life like this? That's pretty, it's not.
Because we were, once after a few months, we were able to get to a point where we didn't work a lot, to be honest. We worked more than 4 hours, of course, but it never really felt like work anyways. It all felt like we weren't working. We're working remotely. So, yeah, we were always traveling when we were working. And, you feel a bit isolated just working with a computer.
Yeah, and it's isolated. And plus, when you start, you don't have a routine. You don't have a proper routine. So we go, you can wake up whenever you want, and you can travel wherever you want. But most people don't live like this. So at least we still had each other. But it still felt very, and people listening might be thinking, oh, boo-hoo, like you guys reached success. But I think the importance of seeing what we found was, as soon as that happened, especially because Mimi experienced it for several years and we still kept going. For me, it didn't hit me, like I said, until 2 years. Then I bought my dream car and had reached my goals. But what we realized was, it's really not about money, and money will definitely not make you happy, because what we then ask ourselves a very important question, and the question was, we haven't been happy for some time, even though we're living this dream life, and everyone from the side, from our friends and family, and from social media people, they might think like we're so spoiled and we have the greatest life, and we're so lucky, whatever it is, but we weren't. We didn't feel that way, and we asked ourselves a question, which was, when was the last time we were genuinely happy? Genuinely excited for living in life.
Yeah, waking up with a smile on your face and, feeling like you want to live. And for both of us, it was the time when we were hustling, when we were struggling, when we had no money, actually, and when we just had dreams and goals that we were working towards, not 4 hours a week, but many, many hours in a day. And we just realized that we need to go back to,
work.
Work. Well, we were, again, and to this day, it's. I feel very grateful because everything we do, we get to ultimately choose. And it feels amazing because we've become actually the opposite. We're workaholics, where we work too much. Personally, I'm speaking of myself.
But you don't have to feel guilty about making money.
Yes, you don't, because you really love what you're doing. So again, at that time, 2.5 years ago, we just realized that, first of all, we need to have a more structured routine. We need to get an office. We need to get all of our people that were working for us remotely to be in the office presently, because it's important to be around people and have some kind of a culture. And
also to go to sleep early, get more sleep, rest. Because we would go to sleep at 3, 4 a.m. and
editing videos and doing all kinds of creative stuff.
And so we've actually, when we went from being against 9 to 5, and we realized how important, actually, as dreadfully as it sounds, routine is for human beings. We're still, we're still.
It was a hard pill to swallow.
We're still creatures of habit, and what we realize, it's very important to create these habits and rituals in your life, which can be really healthy. So it means working out at certain times of the day, going to sleep at certain times of the day, let's say introducing meditation into your life, something that Mimi has really helped Mimi into her life. So Mimi has been to Vipassana retreats
several times now, and I think that's one of the main things that helped to get me through all the dark times of my life, because it helps you as an entrepreneur and as a creative person in general, and as any human being, to be honest. Our minds are very, very active, especially in the times that we live with the phones and the computers and the iPads. There's just too much stimulation. Meditation provides for that space where you can learn to focus your mind. And at the time, 2.5 years ago, when we were deciding to, completely change our lifestyle again and get an office, I went to this crazy 10-day silent meditation retreat.
Where did you go, Mimi? Which location did you go? I've been to.
I did the one in Canada. It's just outside of Toronto. It's just maybe an hour away. Okay. But they have centers all around the world.
Yeah, and they're free. They're free. So you live like a monk. You don't pay or anything. And for 10 days, you only meditate, sleep, eat, and meditate. That's it.
Have you done it, Claudia?
Yes, I've done it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So, the first time I went, I actually ran away, but that was before we started the business. I ran away on day 3. And
you're the one. You're the one. Okay,
and then I went back and I did it twice.
I didn't run away, but I did cheat a lot. Like in my room, I couldn't take 10 hours of silence a day. Like in my room, I watched some TV shows. But I have to tell you, you guys, your story is incredibly inspiring. I've never seen James not interrupt as much. I wonder if he has a pulse or what's going on.
No, I think this is really valuable for anybody to hear. Like, this is the way to build a business in the modern day and age. Like, it's not about your sales pitch, it's about the value you offer, and I think and the authenticity you offer, and people want that authenticity in their lives. Like, ultimately, we're the sum of our experiences. We're not the sum of our material goods. And I think when you show that, that's how you create value.
Yeah.
Exactly. And because one thing we also, like, going back to the 4-hour work week quickly, because Tim actually talks about it, but we as people, we always want to I want the end result. I want the 4-hour work week. There was an important chapter in the book that we missed ourselves, and that chapter was chapter 15, I believe, filling the void. So what happens after you actually achieve your dreams or your goals, or you actually you're working 4 hours a week? What happens then? Well, all the anxiety creeps in, all the existential crisis in your life creeps in, because you understand that there's more to life than just making money. There's more to life than just going on vacations and drinking margaritas or doing whatever you want to do. There's more to that. So as it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that's why you really start seeing, what can I give to the world, where it becomes not about you, but what can you deliver, what kind of value, even more value you can deliver to the world. And that's where you get more fulfillment.
What's the next step for you guys? What's next?
We're working on a very exciting project here in Europe. It's to do with one of my biggest passions, which is fashion. But I can't say anymore because I'm one of those people that, believes in talking less and doing more. So until it's ready to be launched, I feel like it's important to be quiet about it.
We had a conversation a lot about how you can't really... If you talk about your ideas, then you release the energy of the idea too early into the world.
Yeah, it's like having a baby. You need to keep those first couple of months secret so that the baby can really develop. That's how I feel it from the...
That's a great metaphor.
That's a great metaphor. But it's definitely more towards, even with, let's say with Lexi here, it's not like that business didn't have a purpose at all. We actually started seeing, how can we deliver more value and create more purpose for that business as well? So it means reshifting gears. So we're doing that in business as well, but also in new businesses, and all businesses that we create now. Let's say 5 Minute Journal was another business that we created, was part of that. It was like how there was something that we wanted to create in our lives that would make us better as people and make us feel good on an everyday basis. So that was a project, that was a side project that we did with my friend UJ Ramdas, where we created a journal to help people be happier through everyday journaling technique, right? And that was one of those businesses. It was a business not to create money once again. It was a passion project. It was a passion project. Hey, I really want this product in my own life. And if I can help other people live better lives, then why not? Because I think more and more businesses, if you as a business or if you as a person, the most important thing you have to think about, and this is, I think I talked about this before in some of my videos, that always people ask, how do I make money? How do I make money? But the thing is, when you focus on making money, you actually don't make it. You have to focus as an individual, as a person, or how can I create value for other people? And how can I do that? And as the moment you shift your mind from just selfishly trying to make money for yourself, and you shift your mind to how can I create value for other people, that's when you actually make money. So it's the reality. And I wish I knew about it earlier.
We totally agree with that. I think that's something, many business people realize along their path, and that's the real secret. And it's amazing how well that secret works to bring success in all forms into your life. I just want to say, you guys, it's been really great having you on. I think this has been an incredibly valuable lesson to the listeners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, James and Claudia. It was a pleasure.
Yes.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Now that's what we call done. Visit StansberryRadioChooseYourself.com to download our free report called The Choose Yourself Stories, and check back daily for more Ask Altucher.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power, so how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/advance. That's oracle.com/advance. Oracle.com/advance.